I don't know what Wendy and Marty Byrd got themselves into, but it is a huge mess. And they're not that redeemable. But you got to watch. It's the WMAY morning news feed. I'm Greg Bishop. Outside of being glued to news websites and committee hearings and budget reports, and I definitely put in a lot of time for work. But when I do unplug, I like to unplug with some fiction. It has to be well-written fiction, well-produced, well-acted. And Ozark is one of those shows that fits the bill. But it prompts the question of what other fictional characters are you just drawn to despite them being absolutely despicable? 217-629-7970. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Doesn't have to be with Ozark, because I think there's maybe one redeemable person in Ozark. Maybe a couple. But even the kids in that show got corrupted. So if you're not familiar with the synopsis of Ozark, you've got Marty and Wendy Byrd, who lived in Chicago. He's a financial advisor, somebody who works people's money. And all of a sudden, and spoiler alerts, all of this, all right? So if you haven't started the show, it's it's really, really good, and I would encourage you to. But ultimately, you find out that Marty Byrd's laundering money, and he's laundering money for the cartel. And ultimately, they end up moving from Chicago down to the Ozarks, where he starts setting up shell businesses and under the gun of the cartel, continues to do absolutely despicable things. He wraps his wife, Wendy, into it, and she continues to do despicable things. I guess all out of self-preservation. But then the kids get involved, and it's just a mess. So Ozark released part 1 of season 4. I'm not sure when part 2 of season 4 is going to come out, because the first 7 episodes of part 1, season 4, ended, and now we're on a huge, edge of our seat, waiting to see what happens. Why are we so drawn to despicable characters? So I want to hear from you. 217-629-7970. Again, 217-629-7970. Fictional despicable characters, all right? Not real people. Somebody on Facebook says Thomas DeVore is his favorite despicable. All right, we're looking for fictional, all right? Fictional characters. Who's, and it doesn't have to be from Ozark. It could be from whatever recent show you've watched, or movie you've watched, or even Disney story that there is out there. 217-629-7970 is the phone number. Who's your favorite despicable fictional character? Good morning.
I would have to say Dennis and Dee Reynolds.
Dennis and Dee Reynolds from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I'm with you. I think Megan thinks I have a crush on Dennis because he's so ridiculous and over the top with his facial expressions. I don't know. That episode where they're fixing up the boat. You know the one I'm talking about?
Yeah, I've seen them all about 3 times.
Oh, yeah, same here. I'll watch it on repeat. But that episode when they're fixing up the boat, they get a houseboat, and the team, including Danny DeVito, they're all trying to fix this houseboat up. And Mac and Dennis go to the hardware store, and Dennis tries to explain to Mac why he wants to make this houseboat perfect for girls, for women to come over. And he's talking about the mattress and whatnot, and how you get them out on the open ocean, and they have to be with you because of the implication. And the way he bites down on his jaw, I don't know why, it just gets me every time. And Mac is just like, what are you talking about? The implication. Getting out in the middle of the ocean, the girl's what? She's scared for her life? And Dennis is just like, no, dude, you're getting it all wrong. That right there solidified it for me that the actor, I forget his name, but the actor who plays Dennis he deserves an Emmy.
I think the one this season where he caught COVID in Ireland was probably his best.
And they're in the castle, and he's going after Dee. Oh, that's a good one. I didn't even think of D and Dennis Reynolds when I thought about this. I appreciate you chiming in. That's good. All right, 217-629-7970 is the phone number. Talking about your favorite despicable characters. Didn't even think about including Dennis. That's good because he is a pretty despicable character. Good morning. You're on WMAY.
Okay, there's an actor named Christopher Walken who plays almost always bad guys.
Yeah.
I've never seen him play a good guy.
He's one heck of a dancer, though.
Is he really? Well,
yeah.
All I know is he was in a movie called, I think it was called Sociopath, where he and about 4 others like him get together and they all end up dead. But at one point, this guy is holding a gun on him and tells him to do something, and Walken looks at him and says, no. And the first guy says, what do you mean, no? I got a gun. Christopher Walken looks at him and says, I don't care. And that is
it's
the best
classic,
line I have ever seen a bad guy say.
It's classic.
I don't care.
Yeah, and Christopher Walken is just such an astute actor. Greatly appreciate the addition. Megan messaging me on chat, and she says, Walter White. Yes. I'm surprised that hasn't come up yet. Walter White, one of the most despicable characters of modern TV, but yet you're glued to it. You have to watch it. And, of course, that's from Breaking Bad, and he finds his own demise at the end of that series. Good morning. You're on WMAY. Your favorite despicable fictional character. Good morning.
Now, does that have to be from TV or movies?
It can be movies, including, like,
Okay.
if you want to pick even a kid's movie, who's the best despicable Disney character, for instance.
Well, you're kind of just throwing it out there with Despicable Me. I mean, there's that, but
I've never
I'm gonna
seen
go with,
that. Is it, should I watch it or should I wait till I have kids?
both, probably. I mean,
Right.
you will want to see it again. But anyway, I'm going to go with Toby from The Office.
Toby? He's not
because
despicable.
He
Just
ended
because,
up, I mean,
just because
there's
Michael,
okay, listen,
just
there
because
are
Michael
theories
makes
that
him
he
look
was
despicable doesn't mean
No.
Toby's despicable.
there's actually some theories that he was the Scranton Strangler in that
Stop
in
it.
that series.
I love by the way, I love
then-
the scene where Toby's getting ready to leave the country and he puts his hand on, I can't remember the actress's character's name's leg, and she looks at him weird, and then he just gets up and bolts out of the room and jumps the fence.
He's like, nope. All right, I'm gonna head out. Yep, bye. But the other one that's a really close tie is Neil Patrick Harris in How I Met Your Mother, because him just being a complete womanizer, I think, is just hilarious.
I haven't seen that show, and I'm probably way late to the bandwagon on that, but I'll have to check that out. I like Neil Patrick Harris. Good morning. You're on WMAY. Your favorite despicable fictional character. Good morning.
I would say all of the gemstones.
Oh, my
Eli,
gosh.
Jesse, Kelvin.
Oh, my
Judy.
gosh. That show, it's on HBO, The Righteous Gemstones. We watched season 1, last year at some time. We powered through all of that. Hilarious, horrible, despicable. I don't even think that describes it entirely, but this next season's getting ridiculous. And I have yet to watch the one that aired Sunday, but I'm looking forward to it. What a family. What a horrible family.
I just watched the recent episode last night, and it is getting insane.
No, but that's good. I like that. Yeah, the Righteous Gemstones, everybody in that family is horrible. If you're not familiar with the Righteous Gemstones, it's it follows, and again, it's fictitious. It follows a very prominent and rich Christian televangelist family, and they're all corrupt, all the way up and down the chain. It's pretty fun. It's got Danny McBride in it. So if you're familiar with his work, you know that anything he touches is just totally absurd and silly. Good morning. You're on WMAY. Your thoughts? Who's the best despicable fictional character? Good morning.
My brother from Inglewood, Jules Winfield. Pulp Fiction.
It's Pulp Fiction. But doesn't he like redeem himself?
Towards the end of it, but still, his character is despicable.
Yeah. No, it's true. I mean, when you got to start cleaning out chunks of brain from the back of your car, you could definitely see. I can't believe I watched that movie when I was that young. I watched that movie when I was like 13 years old.
But, the fact that he does redeem himself also makes him likable. So
Yeah, right.
That's why he's my favorite character.
And so some of these characters, they do redeem themselves eventually, and that does make them just that much more likable. 217-629-7970 is the phone number. Again, 217-629-7970. Want to hear from you about what's your favorite despicable fictional character. Good morning.
Are you talking about maybe like Christian Bale in American Psycho?
Dude, I almost brought that up myself because not only did I watch that movie, I read the book. The book is so much worse. Tim, if you get a chance, there's a passage in that book that's 5 to 10 pages long, all one paragraph of Patrick Bateman describing his shaving and face washing routine.
Yeah, I've read it. I've read the book and seen the movie, and I'm telling you what.
He's a horrible, horrible person. But you're drawn to it, just as absurd as it is. Appreciate the call, 217-629-7970. Your favorite despicable fictional character. Good morning.
Enoch Thompson from Boardwalk Empire.
I am not familiar with that. Is that a show or a movie?
Yeah, it was an HBO show. Basically around the time of Bootleggers. And it's Steve Buscemi. He plays like the main character.
Oh, wow. I'd like to see Steve Buscemi as another despicable character because he does a fantastic job in Fargo. You shot me in the face!
So if you're a fan of him, just definitely go back and watch Boardwalk Empire. I'm actually just about ready to watching it the second time because my wife didn't watch it the first time.
Right on. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. See if we can find that on HBO. Boardwalk Empire. Good morning. You're on WMAY. Your favorite despicable character?
Anthony Soprano.
Oh, that's a good one. Yes. Megan and I were late to the game on watching The Sopranos because that came out, in the late 90s into the 2000s, and we didn't watch it until just a few years ago.
Yeah, I mean, he's evil incarnate, but yet he's the dad, he's the family man,
and he's getting, therapy.
Well, yeah, I mean, he is. He's laying everything out on the line, but at the same time, you just can't help but kind of pull for him, even though he's a ruthless bastard.
Right. Yep, that's one way you could put it. 217-629-7970 is the phone number. Your favorite despicable character, fictional, please. Good morning. You're on WMAY.
Detective Donald Kimball in American Psycho. William Dafoe.
Yeah, but he wasn't despicable. He was he was just trying to find out, trying to find the missing business guy. That's all he was doing.
He just has that about him.
Yeah, good stuff. That movie, I gotta go back and watch that. What a film that was. Chris on Facebook says, listen to your show every morning. Appreciate that, Chris. Despicable character, the entire Gallagher family from Shameless, or at least William H. Macy's character. I've watched a little bit of Shameless, not as much as I probably should have, but yeah, he was one of those just deadbeat dad, loser, alcoholics. Why are we drawn? Is it just something about the human condition that we're drawn to these fictional characters because we possibly see something of ourselves in them, and we hope that they somehow, I'm getting real deep in psychology here, but is it because we see something of ourselves in them and we want them to rise above it and to redeem themselves? And sometimes, with for instance, Breaking Bad, Walter White gets shot at the end. Sorry for the spoiler alert, but but he ultimately does redeem himself to a degree, right? By going and trying to save Jesse, for instance. I'm waiting to see what happens with Ozark, and are the Byrds going to be able to redeem themselves? Because as of right now, it just looks like they're going to find themselves on the end of the barrel of a gun. But hey, you know what? There's some pretty incredible writers out there that are delivering these stories to us, and for some reason, they like to put a lot of despicable characters in some of these popular shows. Appreciate everybody chiming in here with the WMAY morning news feed. I'm Greg Bishop. If you need to get a hold of me, bishoponair@gmail.com, or you can also find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Just search out Bishop on Air, and we can connect that way here on WMAY.